Did you know that being involved in clubs at school can help you in your job search? On this week's episode, you will learn how your involvement in clubs will make you more marketable to interviewing managers. It's the week of January 26th through the 30th, and this is the QC Step Podcast. Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the QC Step Podcast. I'm Corey Finneran. Again this week, I have a message for the STEP teachers before we get started. Last week, I said that the STEP Spring In-Service was on March 3rd, and then we found out that there is ACT testing in all of your schools that day. So we have rescheduled, and the Spring STEP In-Service will now be on that date right there. So this week, I'd like to talk about how your involvement in clubs at school can help you in your job search. In fact, we here at QC Step are going to give you 5 ways that your involvement in clubs can help you in your job search. All of your schools have lots of opportunities to get involved. The bigger schools may have more options, but the smaller schools still have a lot of clubs too. If you're taking any foreign language classes, there are usually clubs for those classes. There's the drama club, and if getting up in front of people and performing isn't really your thing, there's stagehand and stage crew things that need to be done that's part of drama club. Gary and I talked about the different clubs that a lot of your schools have to offer today, and maybe your school has some of these, and they probably have more that we're not talking about right here, that we're not listing. There's the FFA, the archery club is in a few of our schools, gamers club, anime club, the book club, art club. And the best way to find out what clubs are at your school is to talk to your teachers and find out what the options are. I'm pretty sure that all of your schools have some sort of Special Olympics involvement too. And so that's another club that you could get involved with. The first way that being involved in clubs can help your job search is that it can help build your resume. And if you've never worked a job before, you probably feel like the job applications that you fill out and your resume are pretty weak. There's not a lot of information on there. Being involved in clubs is something that you could put on a job application or your resume. And if you don't think that this stuff belongs there on your application or your resume, by the end of this episode, I think that you will understand that it could be considered work experience, because a lot of the things involvement in clubs demonstrates are the things that are work skills, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's things that could make you a more appealing candidate in the hiring process. This involvement is a time commitment, and in a lot of ways, it's like volunteer work. Sure, it might be a club that is based on something that you really enjoy, and you're getting to hang out with your friends, but then there's also responsibilities that you have with your involvement in these clubs. There are club meetings and there's other events. So you need to be somewhere at certain times and you need to be there on time. And that might seem like something really basic and simple, but reliability and punctuality are very important to business owners and managers. Businesses, they want to hire the people that they can count on. And you can show that you are the person that they can count on your application or your resume through involvement in clubs. And by including club involvement on your resume, it shows hiring managers that you can work with people in a group or a team setting. And it's also a sign that you probably have good people skills. And businesses love employees that can work well with their customers. The second way that your involvement in clubs at school can help your job search is that it gives you the opportunity to network. And if I've been in your classes doing presentations on how to use social media like Facebook and Twitter in your job search, we've talked about both social networking and traditional networking. And the networking that you will do in school and in clubs at school, that's traditional networking. You're building friendships in these clubs, and you're also building contacts. And the more people that you know, and the more people that you're friends with, the stronger your network is. If you know a lot of people and you're a friendly person, when you go to apply for a job, you will be more likely to know someone that works with that business. And if you've been outgoing and friendly, they'd be more likely to recommend you to their employer and recommend that they hire you. You've probably heard this saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And there is some truth to that, probably a lot of truth to that. And if it's who you know, the more people you know, the better. The third way involvement with clubs at school can help you in your job search is that it can help you balance multiple things. While you're working in high school, you will need to balance those two schedules, your work schedule and your school schedule, and you'll need to balance the responsibilities of your homework with your work schedule. Jumping into a part-time job while you're in school can be a little rough. So something like getting involved with a club can help ease you into having to manage a schedule outside of your school schedule, and then also having responsibilities outside of your home and your classes. If you want to build your skills with managing multiple schedules and responsibilities, joining a club at school would be a great way to do that. The fourth way that involvement with clubs at school can help you in your job search is one that it kind of goes along with the first thing that we talked about, and that it helps you with your teamwork skills. Most entry-level jobs, whether it's fast food or grocery or retail, require you to work with other employees. You won't always have your own responsibilities, but a lot of the tasks that need to be accomplished will involve teamwork. If you're working in fast food, you may have a specific responsibility, say making French fries or working on the grill, but you will be working with other people to complete each customer's order. If you're working in a grocery store and you're a courtesy clerk or bagger, you will be working with the cashier to get the customer's order rang up and in bags so that they can go ahead and leave the store. If you're working in retail and you're stocking shelves, you will probably be working on a team of other employees to get the merchandise on the shelves. There are very few jobs that don't require teamwork, and if you have never really worked with people as a group to accomplish things, being in a club is a great way to develop that skill. The fifth way that involvement in clubs at school can help you in your job search is that it can build up your confidence. This one, it's kind of a mixture of all of the things that we've already talked about. Each of the things that we've discussed will help you become more confident. And confidence is really something that will help you in an interview. If you have a strong resume, and if you're good at networking, and you have a strong network around you, if you're able to multitask and balance multiple responsibilities, and if you have good teamwork skills, those things, if you have all those things, that should give you a ton of confidence going into these interviews. These are things that you've worked at and you've developed, and you should not hesitate to bring those things up in an interview. So here's how you might sell these things in an interview. Here's how you can include all of the things that we have discussed in an interview. So let's say, for example, I'm in the drama club and I'm a stagehand and I've helped with setting up props and stuff like that. So this is what I could say about those things in an interview. Well, I don't have a ton of real work experience, but I am involved in clubs at school, and in some ways that's kind of like a part-time job. I'm in the drama club at school, and I mainly help with setting up props and making sure that everyone has what they need in the plays. And it was really important that I was there for every rehearsal, and I was there on time every day, and I was. In fact, I was in a play with John Smith, who works here, and I know that he really enjoys working here, and he said that I could use him as a reference, and that he could vouch for the work that I did in the drama club and how good of a worker I was and a good team player I was for that. I understand that teamwork is important on this job, and working in the drama club really gave me the opportunity to build up those skills. In our plays, everyone had a job that they had to do, and everybody had to do it perfectly for the play to be a success. And I understand that the same is true with this position and in your business. So in that 30 or 45 seconds, I hit on every one of the points that we discussed today. And as you can see, involvement in clubs really can give you experience to use to sell yourself in your job search. If you have an employment topic or question that you would like us to discuss here on the QC Step podcast, you can submit those at qcstep.com. Just click on the topic submission icon and then fill out the form that pops up. Don't forget that if you click on the episode list icon, you can see the list of every episode of the QC Step podcast that we've done. If you click on any topic, it will take you right to that episode. This is the 77th episode of the QC Step podcast, so there's a lot of topics to go through. You can connect with QC Step on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There are links to those things at the top of qcstep.com. And joining the Facebook group is a great idea because you can ask your employment questions there. And anytime you do, I get a notification. It's sent to my phone, and I would be happy to help you with whatever trouble you're having. If you're filling out a job application and you're not sure what to put in a certain section, then post it on there. Or if you have a situation at work that you would like some advice on, post it in that group. We are here to help you, and we want to do everything we can to make sure that you are successful in your employment. Thanks for downloading this week's episode, and we'll be back next week with another episode of the QC Step podcast.